What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another late night in the BrewLab with me, Lone Fox, your Brewmaster-in-Chief. And tonight, in the BrewLab, I'm coming at you with a mono black aggro deck that I'm hoping will perform for me on the Mythic ladder, because I have finally hit Mythic. I hit it earlier on today. I was around position 400 and something, 424, I believe. And I stopped playing. I just wanted to take a break, step back, relax, and take a bit of time off. And since then, I've been perusing the internet for deck ideas, and I came across this article on MTGA Zone. If you guys don't know what that website is, do yourselves a favor, go check it out. As far as like meta game breakdowns, deck lists, you name it, for every freaking format under the sun, I feel like they're almost better than well, it's a different approach, but it's like up there with Etherhub, Untapped GG, and yeah, and MTGA Zone. They're just amazing. You should definitely go check them out. But anyway, there was an article floating around on the interwebs today that I went and read, and it was raving about mono black aggro as sort of this like deck that no one's really talking about, but should get more attention. And so I snagged the list. I made a tiny adjustment. Of course, I also made a BrewLab version, which we'll save for the end, which I think is probably a little bit better. And yeah, I thought it would be a great idea for my first games in Mythic. I haven't played yet. Actually, I had one game in testing, but otherwise I haven't played any Mythic matches yet with this deck. And so I thought it would be a perfect brew for this kind of day one of Mythic for me. So, long rambly intro, I know, but without any further ado, let's jump into tonight's brew. Mono black aggro. This one over here is the one I've net decked. And I'm going to do the usual. I'll take it from the top. I'm going to describe the deck for you guys from left to right. I'll explain to you why I think it is that the creator of the deck picked the cards to go in the deck, and how it is that they synergize with the other cards. And then we'll jump into some gameplay footage on the upper Mythic ladder, and hopefully get to show off as many of those playlines and interactions for you guys against some opponents, and jump back in at the end with my final thoughts, overall deck review. We will also snag a couple matches towards the end with my version and see which one performs best, so stick around for that. Alright, so early game removal, great late game, hits creatures and planeswalkers, Bloodchief's Thirst, gonna miss you in September when you rotate out. I hope you get replaced with something equally great, because this is just a fantastic removal piece, so full playset, I can see why they've gone for that. Then there's a sneaky 2 of Duress here. Interesting. Honestly, if I had to go for like a sneaky 2 of something in a deck that's already like, you know, quite filled, there's very little wiggle room in a best of one shell, I may go for Dread Fugue instead of Duress right now, honestly. This has to be a non-creature, non-land. The Dread Fugue is just got to do with mana value, so you know, you can either just snag a mana value 2 or less in the early game, or any kind of thing that isn't a land in the late game for just an additional 2 mana. So honestly, I think Dread Fugue is the better option here. But anyway, then we've got a full playset of the Okiba Reckoner Raid. It's kind of the mono black variant of Kumano faces Kakazan. I clearly think Kumano faces Kakazan is the better card, but still, that little bit of gain and drain is nothing to be scoffed at. Definitely helping mitigate the life loss from our other main removal spell, Infernal Grasp, which is quite nice just by itself. And then you know, you eventually get this 2/2 with Menace. That gives vehicles you control Menace, but we have no vehicles in the deck, so that line of text is irrelevant. Then we've got 3 Infernal Grasps. We've got a full playset of the Tainted Adversary, which is just you know, these adversaries are just so good. Unfortunately, this is one of those ones that costs 3 to do the thing and not 2. So you need 5 mana to just get the 1 trigger, and then it gets a little bit too much. You rarely ever doing it for 6, 7, 8 mana. Rarely. But it does come up. And then you just get these decayed zombies. There's no additional synergies with that. It's just a death touchy 2/3 on turn 2, or one that comes into play later as more than a 2/3 with some zombies, but it's just nice that it has the death touch kind of stone walls in certain decks. Then, obviously, full playset of the Tenacious Underdog. Amazing card. Keeps getting better, I think, as people kind of figure out all the various shells for it. This is my first attempt in a sort of aggro deck with one. It's nice that you can kind of keep attacking after a sweeper. Yeah, just apply a lot of early game pressure with a 2-mana 3/2 is also nice, but then later in the game you can just keep casting it from the yard. Paying of 2 life is why I made a specific edit, which we'll get to in a second, to try and mitigate that as we go into the late game. But also the Blitz, getting you to draw some cards. Amazing. Then we've got 3 copies of the Graveyard Trespasser, and this is where I made the edit. Originally, this was a 4 of Trespassers and only a 1 of Nighthawk Scavenger, and I went down 1 Trespasser, up 1 Nighthawk. Not a huge edit, I know, but just having the 1 Nighthawk felt weird. It's such a good card, like, such a good card. Especially if you're using, like, Invoke Despairs on the opponent. They ends up with, like, maybe an enchantment, a planeswalker, and a creature in the graveyard. This thing gets to be like a 4/3 or something with lifelink, importantly, so you can mitigate all of these life loss things that you have going on with the Infernal Grasp and the blitzing in of Tenacious Underdog. So, yeah, not a huge edit, but one that I think is pretty good, and might even, well, you guys will have to stick around and see what I've done with my version of this deck at the end of the video. Then we've got a full play set of the Shakedown Heavy. Sweet card, like, outside of the, oh hey, I'm trying to trigger fight rigging the very turn it comes into play. Of course, it's still a really good place for that, and we're going to be doing some more fight rigging decks with the Shakedown Heavy in the coming days for sure. But just amazing anyway, right? I mean, big chunky blocker. Most of the time, it's going to be untapped for blocking because the opponent will have you draw cards rather than deal with a 6/4 menace, and so it becomes a bit of a card draw engine as well. Just amazing card. So I can see why they went for the full playset, and I've kind of, in replicating this deck in my version, which we'll see later, I couldn't help but stick to that core of these 4 and 4 of the new cards from Streets of New Capenna. They kind of shape the deck. Then we've got 2 Nighthawk Scavengers, I mentioned already. Just great card. Flying, Death Touch, Lifelink, amazing all around. That gives us a total of 6 Death Touches in the deck. Then we've got some MDFCs in the form of Hagra Mauling, Hagra Brood Pit. Can be used as an additional removal spell as well as a land. So that brings our total mana, if you include the Hagra Maulings, to 26, which is quite nice in an aggro deck. That means there is almost never going to be a problem drawing, getting to our 5th land, which is as far up as the deck goes, with a full playset of Invoke Despair, which is just great. Interesting kind of thing to have as a top end of an aggro deck, but you'd be surprised. I mean, yeah, you guys have faced it, you've played it. It's such a good card. I can see why the originator of this list decided it would be a good idea to just put this in instead of having a bunch of planeswalkers or whatever else Mono Black was usually trying to do in the more mid-rangey, control-y versions. Then, in the mana base, I left it just as is. 3 Hives, 17 basic swamps, 1 Takenuma, 2 Crawling Barrens. Pretty lots of creature lands, but they're the good ones, and I love Crawling Barrens. This can get pretty out of hand, so all in all, I like the choices here, and including the Hagra Mauling, as I mentioned, we've got 26 lands, so that's plenty. That's the deck. Mono Black Aggro. Let's jump into my first Mythic matches. Booyah. Exciting stuff. Chops. Fingers crossed. I hope it's not just like, well, I mean, if the ladder on the way, oh, how much did I slip down to 590? Ooh, that's a lot of positions for a few hours off. What was I saying? Yeah, the climb into Mythic was peppered with mono white. Here we go. Ah. Save this for the Luminarch Aspirant. Like a glove. Probably should have played this tapped over the Crawling Barrens, because now if we don't get our third land, we're pretty screwed. Trespasser. Didn't really say much about this guy in the intro, but it's clearly a good card. Oof, lucky that wasn't a second red. I get the feeling there's a certain card in your hand, my friend. Mr. Thundering Raiju. Okay. No MYTHIC massacres, which are kind of the usual thing I'm used to expecting in this type of list. Ooh. Oh my lord, you have got to be joking. Of course you'll take the Death Touch guy. And that's gonna just be game, right? No matter what I do. I guess I blocked the one. Go down to one, and then he's got a burn spell in hand. Play with fire. Guaranteed. Oh, okay. Even worse. Oh, God. We're so dangling on. Can't even blitz in our Tenacious Underdog. Some life gain. Night mode, baby. That's nice. Double. He's still not out of range. He could still roiling whatever our asses. Yeah, that's still pretty nice. Whew. Gaining some life. Against Boros, that's can only be a good thing. Whew. Huge sigh of relief getting outside of that Roiling Eruption, whatever it's called, range. The crowd goes wild. Nice. Very nice. Very nice. Game 1 victory always makes me very happy. Oh, that's good. Ooh, that's good. Pansy flower. Alright. I'll keep that. Click, 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 click. Ooh. Ooh. Nasty. Ooh. Jawari. Jawari. No Jawari? Play with fire. At least it's not the other one. Flame Blessed Bolt or whatever. Back up. Underdog. And enough mana for the Invoke. Cool, 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 cool. Let's draw an extra card. Why not? Hope he just taps out, plays all of his big stuff. Ooh, this could just be a, yeah, I have a feeling this is a bombardment deck for shizzle. Take 6, I hope. Oh baby, and draw a card. Nice. I think we need to go and eat some of these things in his yard before he plays out the, because now he's going to play the thing. Oh, okay. Not yet. Get rid of the, like, important hits for his bombardment. Cute. And I think we can probably just do something like this. Chilling. We're chilling. If he plays the bombardment, we go for the Invoke Despair. I haven't seen any counter magic yet. I would be surprised if there wasn't any. Okay. So he's digging for that thing like crazy. 1, 2, 3. Got 4, 7 mana. He could still cast it if he found it. It's a bunch of bollocks in the yard. See, now the chance of the bombardment, like, getting the thing that he really wants is just getting slimmer and slimmer. Because there's so many things in this graveyard. We get rid of the burn down the house. Let's it through, huh? Still digging. Poor guy. I'm like 90% sure that that's what this deck's supposed to be doing, that we're playing. I'm 90%. It's not 100%, but it's close enough. I mean, it could just be like Grixis spells. We have 2 menacing threats. He's got something up. Maybe it's just another seize the spoils, or I mean, you know what I mean. Oh, okay. Full on negate. Hey, it's better we got it then than now. We might have another. Oh baby. He's obviously going to give us the draw off of the heavy. Oh, baby. Oh, sweet. Back to back. Must have been a bombardment deck. He just didn't find the card he needed. What do you guys think? But anyway, I'd love it when that happens. To the opponent, not me, of course. Nice. Undefeated so far, hey? Mono black. I'm honestly surprised at the lack of MYTHIC massacres and that kind of stuff, but I guess in an aggro deck you're not supposed to be sweeping your own board. Okay, I like me a Duress. The only 2 in the whole deck in our opening hand. Sure. Playing against the Voodoo Man. Really? Are you there? Opponent? Are you there? Haha! 3 wins in upper mythic are not very common. Misa like it. Misa like it a lot. Wow, number 58. These early mythic days are crazy. Okay, so because we're on the play and we've got nothing to do on turn 1, let's play out the Crawling Barrens and be all mysterious like, you don't know what I'm playing. I'm just playing colorless lands. What a surprise. double shakedown against Boros should be pretty nice. He takes it. You gonna take that? Oh! I would have thought he'd gone for the Death Toucher. Ooh, ooh. Big beefy hits. Oof. Ooh. Let's go to nighttime. Being pretty interesting. Woo! Yes, baby! That's what I'm talking about! Mono black aggro showing the freaking ladder. What it's all about. Ow! Was that article correct? Is this a bit of a sleeper deck? No one's really playing it? It's not showing up anywhere? Might just be. Could just be a very small sample size and I'm getting a bit lucky, but those matches felt really good. That 6-4 like kind of stonewalls the Boros guys, and they don't have much in the way of removal that does more than 3 damage at all. So pretty decent. It's pretty. Ooh, Esper. Huh. What a cheeky bugger. Sure. Land off the top would be fantastic. Oh, that hurts.
Are you in around? I, the generous one. Subs, do what I demand.
I may have to cut this a little short as my son is having a fit. I can hear him crying in the room next door.
A gift in exchange for loyalty. Aren't I
Oh,
generous?
here he comes. Hello, hello. Shh. Hey, hey. Hey, sweet. Hey, my darling. It's okay. It's okay. Oh wow.
I will not
Fully lets me
cry
go
like
for
a
it.
Weak little thing.
That's all the cards in your hand gone. Oh. Got him. Guys, I think I need to leave it at that. My son needs some attention. BrewDad mode activated. But we've arrived at the 35-minute mark, so only cutting it about 10 minutes short. But I think the deck absolutely shredding. I just want to quickly show you my version before I call it at night. And go look after this little guy. I just thought it would be such a shame to run the Okiba Reckoner raid and not have any vehicles. So, you know, it says the vehicles you control have menace. It's like, but there's no vehicles in the other version. So I put in some bank busters. And I've just gone for the... I don't have any of the Graveyard Hate. But now that I've played a bit with the other version, I can see why it's so relevant. So I think I may need to change that. But I do like the inclusion of the bank buster. We could definitely go to like do something like that. And throw in a couple of the Graveyard Trespassers. But I will just leave the original list in the video description for you guys to go copy and enjoy. And we'll, you know, Graveyard Trespasser. There he is. And then I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Like, how would you have built it? I left the mana base. I really like the mana base. That's really nice. I didn't put the Hagra Maulings in, but I felt the card draw was just really, really nice with the Bank Buster and being able to give the Bankbuster Menace and then accruing it with something, is pretty nice. So, yeah, that's going to be it for tonight's gameplay footage. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord community, link in the description. I will see you all tomorrow with some fresh brews. And until then, this is Lone Fox from the BrewLab, signing out. Peace, y'all.